So guys, finally the truth is out. The man Kenneth Okonkwo said to had been the one who sent him a message telling him that Peter Obi is running a criminality kind of activities in the NDC has finally come out to speak. He said he's challenging Kenneth Okonkwo to show me the message I sent to you. The man is here telling Nigerians that he never sent Kenneth Okonkwo any form of message. That if Kenneth Okonkwo can show him the message that he sent to him, that he's ready to apologize to Peter Obi, he will apologize to the people he intends to go and represent, and he's going to withdraw from his political ambition. I mean, because he actually wants to vie for the position of the House of Reps, that he's going to withdraw from that. Now, the man has come out to say he never. Guys, one might be wondering what is making Kenneth Okonkwo to go all out. But assuming this man even sent Kenneth Okonkwo such a thing with the personality of Peter Obi, and the name Peter Obi has built so far, does Kenneth Okonkwo has the right to come out on channel television and begin to say it without verifying? At least if he really wants to tarnish Peter Obi's image, he would have at least made further verification and be sure before coming. I don't say protect Peter Obi if Peter Obi is wrong, no. But for someone who has built his name, look at Peter Obi being invited all over the places. Look at recently he spoke at the European Union. They did not even invite Tinubu. They invited Peter Obi because of his personality. In London, Peter Obi could borrow money because of the trust they have in him. They didn't ask him, go and show us a house. And all of a sudden, Kenneth Okonkwo started spreading this falsehood. Now the man is saying, if Kenneth can show him where he sent him that message, that he's ready to apologize to Peter Obi. Guys, I'm going to allow you to listen to the full interview. But before then, also listen to what Kenneth Okonkwo said during that interview. Just a short clip of what he said during the interview on Channels Television, where he said Peter Obi is running criminality in the NDC, that he requested for 10 million naira from each Southeast candidates for him to run his own presidency. Guys, hey, if Peter Obi is looking for ways to dupe Nigerians, is it just in the NDC that started? I mean, Peter Obi has fans all over the world. Somebody said if Peter Obi wants billions of dollars today, that Nigerians, home and abroad, are going to contribute it for him within a twinkling of an eye. But all of a sudden, Kenneth Okonkwo is now the one going about spreading falsehood. Guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video and let me know your honest reaction in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. I want to give credit to Njenje TV that actually conducted this interview session. Take a look.
Anybody who is voting for NDC and Peter Obi is voting for criminality, and I will prove it with facts. I will call names. There is one man called Obunike Ohebu, the House of Representatives aspirant, Newi North and Newi South, and Ekusigo local government from Anambra State. He sent an SOS to me, and he said that Peter Obi is now the head of the criminality, that they were scammed in NDC. And he said, Okonkwo went back to his people and made sure that every constituency produced one candidate so that they will not be scammed. But Peter Obi told them that all of them, the aspirants, should go into the field, and that they thought they were going to have primaries. Remember, Sereka Dixon came out and said, once you pay your expression of interest form, you are not going to pay any money. When you are now the one that is nominated, that's when they will take nomination fee. And all of them ran into it. Then Peter Obi and the leaders of the Southeast now went and told them, anybody who wants to be House of Rep person, after paying that expression of interest, must pay 10 million naira bribe, and Senate 20 million naira bribe. When they were
bribe to who?
Bribe to the NDC and the caucus. They call them caucus leaders in the Southeast. This was what he wrote it and sent to me, and sent me the receipt, because they told him he needed money to campaign for his presidency. Now, when they were told individually, so they thought they were now the chosen candidate, that maybe that is the nomination fee. When all of them paid, they discovered there were many. Then we are now told to go into the field for direct primary. And when they now went into the field, they thought that there was going to be genuine primary. And as they were in that field, killing themselves, Peter Obi was in John Wood Hotel. He mentioned the hotel, writing the list of candidates, and after that they submitted it. You know what he said? He said, I am not disappointed that I lost the ticket. I am rather disappointed that I invested my time, resources, and reputation in a process that is becoming increasingly opaque and inconsistent with the democratic principles it proclaimed. And this is another man from Enugu State a highly political person sent to me. And you know what he said? He said, I have a direct taste of the fraud called P2B. Recently in NDC.
But we must put that, yes.
NDC has become a national dialogue for criminality.
No, but just a moment.
Discussion of criminal.
Mr. Okonkwo, you do acknowledge that that was the testimony of one person, and it's an allegation.
No.
You haven't investigated that.
Hold on.
To be able to say you did your own investigation,
yes,
and you found it to be true.
What, did you know what Aisha said? He said they did not even give me, I'm not talking about level playing ground. They did not give me ground at all. He said it on TV. I'm talking about corroboration. A lot of them have said it. And you know why I'm annoyed? You said I did the investigation. I am the leader of ADC in Enugu State. The same people we fought that they will not extort the aspirants. They are the people that went to NDC and they started extorting the aspirants. NDC has come out with a statement trying to distance themselves from what is happening in the Southeast. And they said it is the caucus leaders in the Southeast that are responsible.
Yeah.
P2B from Anambra State, Okwesilezenwodo from Enugu State, Ugochukwu Onyema from Abia State, Achiku Demwa from Imo State, and what else is remaining?
Yeah, but don't you think that is? Yes. I mean, I'm not trying to
5 states in the Southeast.
Exonerate
you know what
anyone.
I'm telling you? We want to bring new leadership in the Southeast because of leaders like this. That is why Southeast has been coming last in Nigerian politics. Southeast people are marginalized in the federal government. We fight to eat. And after that, some of our leaders are calling us and scamming us. I told them that Peter is going to scam them.
Yeah, but
that is a political conman. Look at what is happening.
I'm saying that, again,
you will go to diaspora. I don't give shish, but you collect shish.
Mr. Okonkwo, I think it's important. I think it's important.
You have heard that. Let me ask you the first question, Chief Ohebu. Let me begin from the center of this controversy. As you know, did you at any point tell Kenneth Okonkwo that P2B defrauded or scammed you politically or financially?
Thank you for, why I accepted to have this interview is that I've known you and you also you've known me and know my involvement in some of these political activities. It's not like what happened this morning where it looked as if the presenter was pushing me to make a negative comment about P2B. And unfortunately, my brothers are not seeing through that. Coming back to your question, Kenneth Okonkwo, I'm talking to you now. If you said I send you a message, please, if you can show any message where your body call Hebu wrote you and said that P2B is the head of scam, one, or P2B asked me to pay 10 million naira, or the members of the Southeast Caucus made me to ask me to pay 10 million naira because P2B needed it to run for his presidency. On the face of it, the only thing the major desire I have as at today is to represent the good people of Nnewi North, Nnewi South Federal Constituency. I will not just apologize to Peter. I will not just apologize to people of Nnewi North, Nnewi South Federal Constituency. I will not just apologize to Nigerians. I will resign from politics. I will no longer participate in politics, and I will give up this ambition to be in the National Assembly. If he can show where I said P2B told me to pay 10 million, or Southeast Caucus told me to pay 10 million, or that P2B needed 10 million naira for his presidential ambition. If there is anywhere anybody can produce, he said I sent him an SOS. If you can produce, please, you have my authority. If you have such message, if it's SMS or voice call and you have it, please show it to Nigerians that nobody call him one miss. Told you that P2B defrauded me, or P2B told me to pay you 10 million naira, or P2B or members of the Southeast told me to pay 10 million naira because P2B needs money for his presidential ambition. We not only resign from politics, I will apologize because I must have been a monumental disgrace, not just to myself, but to my family and my children. It's unfortunate, people are not listening to it. Nobody wants to listen to you. There is nothing, a friend was telling me, there is nothing Kenneth Okonkwo said in that interview about our presidential candidate that he had not said before. He has called him criminal over and over and over and over again. The only thing is that in that particular interview, my name was used to drive the message, and it's most unfortunate. So what I'm telling you, Mazi, is that I never said that P2B defrauded me. I never said P2B asked me. In fact, as a matter of fact, if there is anywhere Kenneth Okonkwo can establish that I said I had communication with P2B in any form or format, even if he did not demand money from me, that there was a communication between me and P2B from the March I came back to Nigeria till date. I have not been able to speak with Peter. I have not been able to meet with him. I have not had any meeting. I didn't complain in that text message that there was no meeting at all to discuss consensus. So how could I have told him? That said, coming back to what I said the National Secretary, I met the National Secretary on 5th of May. The National Secretary told me.
Hold on. Before you move into that part, one thing that I still want to put on record is you debunked that you never told him that P2B defrauded you or P2B, be it monetarily or politically. But did you send him SOS? Because he used 2 words. He said that you sent him an SOS. So, and Kenneth Okonkwo is in the ADC. You are in the NDC. So, is that anti-party? Why are you sending Kenneth Okonkwo SOS regarding what is happening in the NDC?
My brother, for the benefit of our viewers, we want you to explain what SOS is before I can respond, because it is good to put things in perspective. It's good to.
SOS means save our soul. Was your soul being threatened at that time?
So your political head one is ran to Kenneth Okonkwo to save my soul in NDC from ADC. It's absolute bunkum. What I do? Was there any communication between me and Kenneth Okonkwo? The answer is in the affirmative.
Okay, so you said
what I do. Let me say what I do. What I do. I write a lot. And I'm sure you must have read some of the things I write, and I do share it.
You share with me as well.
I share with you. The message what has to do with my address to the NDC members in Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency, which I shared on my broadcast. Incidentally, that message was also sent to His Excellency Mr. P2B, where I said, I call on you to disregard rumors of any, I said, dear NDC members and supporters, I call on you to disregard rumors of any automatic ticket being granted to any sitting member of the House of Representatives. Equally, please disregard the wicked rumors that NDC intends to hand over 2 National Assembly tickets to Ekusigo on the basis of alleged promises of automatic tickets. And I said, the incumbent member representing Dudukofa and Jikok and Ocha Federal Constituency, who incidentally represents the constituency of our sole presidential candidate, was reportedly persuaded to step aside on the grounds of fairness, equity, and overall interest of the party. He was elected on the platform of Labour and has remained loyal and committed to our presidential candidate. If there were indeed any agreement for automatic tickets, logic dictates that he would have been the first beneficiary of a sitting member from another party representing Ekusigo. So I just urge my supporters and all stakeholders to ignore these rumors. This was the message I shared on my broadcast, and over 2,000 people got that. That was how apparently he picked interest on that, and then he started engaging me. It's laughable. People were telling me, okay, why would you do this?
So in that case, would it be fair to say that the broadcast you made that you said over 2,000 people read, including His Excellency Mr. P2B, and that SOS was not made in that message, but from what you just said now, there was a follow-up conversation that happened. Could it be that you told him in that follow-up conversation what he now said on Arise?
I didn't get your question.
Okay, you just said now that when you had what you read out, what you put out in that statement, in that message you sent across.
Yes.
And you said here that after this message, that further conversation happened with him. Either he called you or you called him. So could it be?
He engaged me on that discussion.
So okay, now he called you then for that conversation. Could it be that then that statement he said on Channels TV was when you were engaging in that further conversation?
No, I never asked him to save my soul. He wanted to know what happened, and I told him in writing, because see, because of my training, I know his disposition to His Excellency. It will be. I had a telephone conversation with him, and I said, please, what I discussed with you, I wish to send it to you in writing, in case you want to quote me. And I decided to send the message in writing, and to the glory of sport, it's in writing. So I told him that the national secretary of the party asked me to pay 10 million naira. The national secretary of the party, in the presence of a very high respected member of COPTEM that went to see with him, meet him, told me that, look at the process, you pay 2 million for the expression of interest, then if you pay 10 million, the position will be locked down for you. If you are going for House of Reps, for Senate is 20 million. I said, okay, no problems.
So this conversation of 10 million was a conversation you had with the national secretary of NDC, right?
I've consistently said the national secretary of the party asked me to pay 10 million naira. I have even sent a message to the national secretary. I said, you asked me to pay 10 million, I paid 10 million, and you also asked me, despite promising that
what was that 10 million for?
My understanding is that what he told me expressly, if I pay that 10 million, the position will be locked for me.
Okay, so was that 10 million paid in a party account or a private account?
The national secretary, speaking to me as a high-ranking party official, told me that the money will pay into the party account. So I believe that was what happened. What I think eventually happened is that probably they were not expecting that a lot of people would be willing and happy and ready to pay the 10 million, especially from the Southeast. Apparently, people who paid, then we now had more than one person paying for per constituency. So it became a problem that you have to conduct primaries to show in the narrative of the money I sent. Because of what I was told, I said Newi Federal Constituency, because I paid 10 million for a position to be locked for me, and I stipulated the position I was looking for.
Okay. So now, my
anger is that when I express it with National Secretary, if he denies it, that would be an authority for me to, that would be assumed to be a permission for me to share even the private messages I had with him. But of course, it's ungentlemanly to share in public private conversations. That said, the essence of that payment is for me to get that position locked down.
Okay.
After making that payment, I was also asked to go for direct primaries. I went for direct primaries. My anger is that on ground, I won the election. I won the election on ground. I had 1,320 votes. My closest rival got 900 and something votes, less than 1,000 votes. There was no election. What actually happened? There was no election in Nnewi North.
If there was no election, if there was no election, how did you win?
Okay, listen to me again. My federal constituency has 3 local governments.
Yes.
Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency. Incidentally, I am from Nnewi South, that has 20 wards. Over my town has 6 wards. My closest rival in the election is from Ekusigo and a sitting member of the House of Reps. On the election day, 2 opponents from Nnewi North had issues, and there was crisis. There was no election. Everybody, the election didn't take place. If anybody is telling you there was an election in Nnewi North, it's not true. I'm speaking my own. If there's any proof of that, then consider me a monumental liar. There was no election in Nnewi North. In Ekusigo, where he came from, of course, he scored more than I did. But the gap, he had 100 plus, and he was 600. In Nnewi South, people who were there were in their thousands. And the party said, no, only 700 and something people registered. Incidentally, the people registered before the 10th. Incidentally, the people who registered, majority of them are from my ward. And of course, you know the reason. election was conducted, checked for 600, that gives you 1,020 votes. My father, in my local government had 25 or 23, I can't remember the exact figure. That's what he got from his federal his local government. He had less than 1,000. I had my own. I said election in no. So I won the election. So not only did I pay the money for the thing to be locked down, I was challenged. And for you to understand this, I am the only candidate you can verify. I am the only candidate that printed posters. I'm the only candidate that had branded shuttle buses moving around on that day. I am the only candidate that came to the people. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't food they ate. Even after the election, I can share videos with you. After the election, people who could not go, who were hungry, went. In fact, that day I shut down the entire Nnewi market. Everywhere they were selling gala at cola. I was the only one that sustained them. Even after the election, I was there till 10 p.m. Even in Nnewi, where there was no election, I was there sharing humanity, not just politics.
Okay.
Considering my background.
Let me, Chief Obunike here, let me come back to the meat of the matter. As you know that Kenneth made these allegations on Channels TV, and I understand that today you went to Channels TV as well today as a person who has the right of reply, and you've debunked it as well. But let me ask this question. What was your immediate reaction when you heard your name or position being linked to such allegations?
I reached out to media houses because I felt that what I should do is to debunk it. And I decided not to. Yes, I insisted on using the same platform.
Did you reach out to him?
Call him.
Yes. If No. Did you reach out to the Kenneth Okonkwo who said this, that you said so? So because I think that
yesterday, no, of course I didn't.
So why?
Why would I?
He had, in this case, no, you have considered, if I consider that Obunike said something that I haven't said, I think my first inclination would be to pick up the police.
No, I think you should let me explain to you, Mazi. I'm focused on making sure that I'm announced the candidate. I had a lot on my table. That was said on the platform, and what I did was to make efforts to ensure that I go to the same platform the next day to debunk it. You know, I didn't have power for negative energies. Just like you could be asking people who had him as his spokesman if he said he did that. Why didn't he call him to say, why would he say I did this? I mean, you know me very well. Why didn't you ask me? You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't understand. I don't know your own attitude towards that. What I think I should have done, and which I did, was to ensure I get to the same platform where that was said and debunk it. You have a discussion with somebody, it was used on a public platform. I think the easiest thing you could do is to go to the same platform and debunk it. And I thank Channels for giving me the opportunity to go to the same platform to debunk it. Even though, I mean, understandably, it was like the focus was pushing for me to say the presidential candidate of our party has issues with me, he had problems with me, he's not a good man and all that. If you watch the video, that was what it was all about. It was not friendly, but I'm happy I had the opportunity to say never, ever.
Okay. But, I mean, you know, I don't want to toe in the line of this argument, but for the benefit of my viewers, you and I probably have come a long way, but for the benefit of my viewers, permit me to say, are you able to explain the nature of your relationship with P2B during and after 2023 elections? Were there political understanding or expectation that later became contentious?
2023 elections.
During and after.
Okay. We were together in PDP. We had contacts in PDP.
Okay.
We eventually left PDP.
Okay.
I wouldn't go into details because, I mean, we already have a lot of issues there, so that I will not be misquoted. We were in PDP and we were, quote unquote, in the same camp in PDP. We were in the same camp. As a matter of fact, you see, I saw what Valentine Obianem, the secretary, posted, he shared that when PO was the governor, that I had a platform of a patriotic forum where I was being very critical about him. PO was governor of Anambra State under the platform of ABGA. I've never ever in my life been a member of ABGA. I've been a member of PDP from 1998 till we joined, till I felt that PDP had been hijacked by forces that I would not in good conscience continue to identify with, even when I believed that I should have remained in one party, because from the look of things and from the experience I've just had, it seems that the entire political parties are still being manned by Nigerians. But I remained in PDP. In 2023, we were together in PDP. When he left, I remained in PDP. We were not together. When we worked together was when he joined PDP for 2015. Also, I'm not sure of the dates, but around 2014 and 2015, when people moved to the PDP, he moved to the PDP, and I was one of the closest allies of him. People who are running narratives now, Valentine or Joe Biayen, who will be listening to us, it's convenient for him to forget how closely we worked from 2015 to 2019. And he jumped 2015 to 2019, he's talking about when PO was governor. About 12, okay, Obiano has done 8 years, Soludo has done 4 years, at least over 12 years ago. That's what the one he remembered. He now wiped off 2015, especially how we were in the same trenches in 2017.
Let's
the bullets I took. But let's not go there. The bullets I took.
Let's not stay another controversy.
No. Of course, I'm not going into details. I mean, a lot of my friends are involved in this. So, but he's so confident. I'm talking to him. Bam! It's so confident for him to forget what we did together from 2015 to 2019. What we did when we had Tim Peter, that we had meeting in Enugu, against the entire governors of the Southeast. So we mobilized. I was the one who, anyway.
It's
so unfortunate what people run. So some of the people, I don't blame them. Some of the people who go on air and say that I have always been against people have completely walked off from their memories. 2015 until PO left PDP in 2022. But it's okay, we'll move on.
Yeah, but like I said, let's not move into another controversy. But now, let me come back to the issue at stake. And I ask you this point blank. Do you believe that Kenneth Okonkwo deliberately misrepresented your position? Or do you think there was a misunderstanding or a communication gap?
Yeah, before I answer this question, if you don't mind, is there anything that Kenneth Okonkwo said in the interview yesterday about people that he has not said before now, outside the fact that my Obriko Hebu's name was put to drive it? Can you mention anything? Can you mention any single statement or any single allegation, whether criminality or incompetence or whatever, that he said yesterday about people that Kenneth Okonkwo has not said before yesterday?
I have never heard Kenneth Okonkwo say that Peter Obi has scammed people with their money, and especially with the scam people 10 million naira each to fund his presidential campaign. I've never heard him say that. So that's the first time I heard that, and hence we're having this conversation to clear the air, if you said it or if it starts coming from you. But if you may go back to the question that I asked, what do you think? Do you think it's a deliberate misrepresentation, or there is a communication gap?
I think it has to do with the reward system we have now. And as you are saying this, I'm trying to fast check what we are discussing. Let me tell you, Mazi, that is what this is is it right to say the season? APC has shown a standard for communication during elections.
Yep.
And that started with the reward of ambassadorial reward to Fanika Ede and Omokri. And what did they do to deserve that? They go online and insult people. Personally, I believe is that because of my background, I'm still one. I believe that when you say a lot about people online, the truth is that most of the things you say about people online also speaks volume about you as a person. You as a person. When you talk about people, the way you talk about people says a lot about whom you are as a person. So if it has shown that you could be rewarded with something big as ambassadorial position by insulting the opponent, it shows that it's going in the coming days. It's going to be worse.
So what you're saying?
I wouldn't know your take on that.
No. I mean, the take is very straightforward, because I asked you a question. If you think it was a deliberate action, and you dived in, you pivoted into the reward system, brought in Boala, FKK, and the Reno Omokri, how they were rewarded because they, were bombastic in their choices of words. Now, in this case, now I put it to you. Are you insinuating that our brother and friend is being bombastic in his choice of word in order to get rewarded like Reno Omokri? Is that what you're implying here?
It couldn't have been more correct. In my view, it couldn't have been more correct.
Okay, so that's obviously that's what it is. So you are thinking that he's doing what he's doing so that he'll get rewarded, maybe with an ambassadorial post. I hope to have him here too. He may have one or two things to say to debunk this. Anyway, so moving on, I think, do you think that since this has happened, you are an NDC House of Rep aspirant for Nnewi North, Nnewi South, and the Ekwusiko Federal Constituency? How has this controversy since yesterday affected your political journey and public image? Do you think that people now see you differently, or, I mean, what do you think? What's your honest take?
I think it provides opportunity for people who will never like me anyway. And if you are running for political office, a lot of people have they decide on what to do. Some of 70% of people who write whatever they write, I've never had contact with them. They've never met me. They've never met me in real life. They just express their views. Some of them feel, oh, we want this person and he should never be talked about. And once somebody said negative thing, they're wrong with it. And incidentally, the person who is saying that, maybe they are tired of calling him out. So you know that he has provided, and then of course, I have opponents. I'm running for an election I won. I'm making sure, in fairness to the party, although the party has not announced any winner, and I'm actually in court. I have gone to court to compel the party to announce the results, because I believe the result is announced. I should be the one, and I'm not.
Hold on. So you are in court compelling NDC to announce winners. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Now, but no party, including the ruling party that started earlier, no party has announced actually clear winners. So why are you going to court to compel?
Well, I wouldn't know what you are talking about. Let me tell you, Maz, we are here to effect a change. There was an election. It was called option A4. The party had a clear directive to people who came to conduct the election, don't announce results. That is wrong. Option A4, these people are queuing for these people. When you finish there, go to the collection center, Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekwusiko Federal Constituency. We have even the senatorial collection center. It's in Nnewi North. What would have happened in that? Let me conclude by flow. The person who conducted the election, the people who conducted the election in Nnewi South, and the people who conducted the election in Nnewi, in Ekwusiko, would have all gone down to Nnewi North Secretariat and submit to the Federal Constituency Collection Officer. The person will now collect the result from Nnewi North, and looking at the three results, add them up, announce to the people before they leave Nnewi Federal Constituency that, looking at this result, this person is the winner. The party gave instruction that should not be done. Even if other parties did the same, we are here to effect a change. We are not here to copy APC. The last time I checked, APGA has published the list of their winners. And this was not last week, it was not last 2 weeks. I'm not sure it was up to a week after the primaries. So they have announced, APC has also published the result.
Did you find out the reason why the party hasn't announced before you headed to court? And my question to you, don't you think that by taking your party to court, a party that is less than 4 or 5 months old, obviously would have a lot of teething problem compared to those that are 18, 20 or 25 years old. Don't you think that taking them to court would alienate you more from the party leadership, considering?
No. Let me tell you, Martin. We are here to effect a change. I'm going to House of Reps to speak on the Nnewi North, the Nnewi South, and the Ekusigo Federal Constituency.
By going to court, but they haven't.
Hold on. Can I finish?
Yes.
If I'm going to Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency to speak for them, and something is not right, and I do not speak for myself, then something is wrong with me.
Okay.
And Martin, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that it's right that primary election that was conducted on 29th May 2026, that as at today, 9th June 2026, the result has not been announced? Do you think it's right?
Well, I wish I had the funds to contest. I probably would have been in December with you guys to make that decision. But again, my honest take to your question, though I'm the one that asks question, but let me oblige you. My honest take to that would be, until I understand the reasoning behind why the party took that decision, I wouldn't have an answer. But in this case, it appears we don't know. Anyway, no, we are rounding up now. And quickly, let me ask you, you said you sent the party secretary, you sent him a message to refund you the money you paid to the party.
No, that is not what I said.
Okay.
I said the party secretary was the one who told me that if I pay 10 million naira, that my deposition will be locked down. And I wrote him, I said, this was the promise you made to me, although eventually the party still decided to go for primaries for that election. And in that primaries, I won on ground that I am saying that the party to announce me as the winner, and I'm also making commitment that if I am announced the winner, as my way of ensuring that the credibility challenge primaries, because everybody is complaining, the way to seek for reconciliation is to ensure that every aspirant from Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekusigo Federal Constituency that also paid that 10 million naira, that I will refund the money. Because I believe that 10 million should have been paid by only the candidate who is the flag bearer of the party to help the party. So if somebody paid that 10 million after paying for expression of interest, I don't think it's fair to keep the money. And I wouldn't want to insist that the party will refund the money. If I'm the beneficiary of the ticket, I will refund the money to those people that paid as a way of reconciliation. So I'm saying that so that the party will know whatever they are going to do, they are going to put it into context, because anybody that paid that money and the person first to get the ticket deserves the money to be refunded. I don't know about you. I think it's the right thing to do.
Okay, so now, I mean, that's on a personal pledge. But now, let me ask you again, because I believe there was some insinuations to this. Assuming that eventually you are not the winner, will you go and, I mean, you are in court already before they announce the result, but assuming they announce the result and you are not the winner, would you then go back to court to demand for that money to be refunded to you?
Two things. One, whether I am announced today or somebody else is announced today, I am a member of NDC. I remain a member of NDC. Not be cajoled by anybody to leave the party. I have spent tens of millions. Those people abusing me have not spent 1 naira. Most of them cannot commit what I have committed into the party. So I'm not going to leave that party. Two, I'm expecting that if somebody takes the ticket, whichever way is done, God forbid that I lose the ticket, but whichever way is done, my 10 million naira should be refunded. I think it's the just thing to do. If I'm the one, if I have the ticket, I will personally refund them for you to understand my own position on that. If I get the ticket, I will personally refund that 10 million naira to the people from Nnewi North, Nnewi South, that Ekusigo Federal Constituency that paid that, regardless of the number. And I will not start any campaign until I make sure that everybody that bought the form and paid that 10 million is on the same page with me.
Okay, let me ask you, how many people were, how many contenders did you have in that election?
Unfortunately, after the parties, okay, we were in ADC. I think we were about 3 or 4. But when we moved into NDC, we were still about that number, but somebody dropped, stayed back in ADC. But on the eve of the primaries, I discovered that apparently some people still bought the forms. The party, after the deadline for the obtaining of the form, also extended the time. So as we speak today, if you have seen it, I have not. As we speak today, I do not know the number of the people that contested that election. It has not been published anywhere.
But you said, I think wrong. No. But you said it was an open primary and that you won. So if it's an open primary, the ones I've seen, you have the placard of someone, say, can you line up at the back of this?
Okay, let me tell you. Some people I know, I met at where we did screening from Newi. When I went to FPC, they had no agent or representative to carry their card or to stand and for people to queue before for them.
So in
India South as well, they were not represented. So you cannot use that. I told you, a lot of people did not mobilize. They felt, I think, for some reason, that would be a way they would get a ticket. So you cannot say because the person was not there, that he was not an aspirant.
Okay. Did you also hear the narrative that those who followed His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi, from Labour Party to the ADC, from the ADC to the NDC, that as a people that have proven loyalty to him, there was this conversation with the party to grant them automatic tickets. Did you hear that narrative?
Well, the question is neither here nor there, but let me tell you the right thing to do.
No, sorry. No. I said, did you hear that narrative?
I had several narratives. I've had the first narrative I told you.
No. This one that I'm saying, there was a discussion.
Nobody told me that. The only narrative that I was told by the National Secretary is that all I needed to be the candidate was to pay the 10 million, which I paid. The party, hold on. I believe as a party that is bringing in change, if the party had decided to give an automatic ticket to certain people, the party could have said, a special of interest form is for sale. Meanwhile, XYZ number of XYZ federal constituencies is not up for grabs as we have people for automatic ticket. You cannot, in good conscience, decide to give somebody automatic ticket, which means there will be no contest for that ticket, and you still sell forms to people to buy ticket for a particular position that you have decided to give automatic ticket to. And to show you that was not the case, remember, representing the federal constituency of our presidential candidate, DLK, was asked not to run because it would be unfair for him to run. And he was from Labour, he followed from Labour to ADC, from ADC to NDC, and he thought still run because it would have been unfair to other local governments if he had. So he did not run.
So he did not.
The guy representing
not run.
I don't think it is a fair question, actually. So who do you want me to say that told him not to run? You asked him who told him not to run. I told you he was running and stopped running. There was exchange. You shouldn't run. It's not fair. Exchange on the social media. And then he came back and said, I'm withdrawing from the race. He bought tickets and withdrew. And you're not asking me who told him not to run. Who do you get what? Mark Zidane told him not to run.
Okay, I did. Let's move on. I did. Okay. So, in rounding up here, I think it has been established here that at no point did you tell Kenneth Okonkwo that, Peter Obi scammed you, and you have made it very clear here that it was the party secretary who promised you that if you pay 10 million naira, that seat will be reserved. But eventually, it appears that maybe at the point, probably you are one of those, the first individuals when they didn't know that other people will come and eventually
I think so too. I think so too.
So maybe eventually more people now came, and probably he couldn't stick to his promise. I don't know, but that's, speaking with you, that's what I can, hazard a guess here, that is the issue.
Okay. Sorry, I know I'm the guest here and I'm here to answer your questions.
Yeah.
So I know by practice that I'm not expected to ask questions, but just thinking aloud, can you tell me in good conscience that you, Mazes, okay, never in anywhere heard that there was an arrangement that people who pay 10 million for House of Reps and people who pay 20 million for Senate, and that the positions will be locked down for them? Because I know you're an insider. Are you telling me in good conscience that you never had that?
What I heard, to be fair, is that those who would emerge as a new party, that they will be encouraged to support the party, maybe something that could be tagged as a developmental fee, but that's when people...
With how much? Can you mention the amount?
Honestly, I don't know. I know I said to support. Now, when I go back from the publications the party made, because again, I hold them to their words of the things that they have put out there. And what I have seen is expression of interest. I think it ranged from 1.5 million, I think, to 3 million or to 5, depending if it's governorship or senatorial or House of Assembly or House of Rep, to the presidential. And, common sense and logic, when I saw that presentation, what I thought, by the sheer number of people that came from the Southeast and South in the party, obviously everyone trying to use the opportunity that they have seen, in 2023, people didn't believe when they accused so many people of being 4 individuals tweeting in a room, that Okada riders became House of Rep members and some in the State Assembly. So there was a surge that many people thought they could utilize that opportunity to, repeat of 2023 to get into the House. So honestly, I think to your question, I would say that that's what I heard and that's what I believed, but that individuals began to pay monies that the party officials or the secretary asked them to. And I wish to reach out to him. Probably he will come up here and, like I reached out to you when I had Kenneth Okonkwo make such allegations. I will also reach out to him, probably to bring him before weekend to speak, to confirm if he actually made promises to people to say, if you pay XYZ amount of money, your seat will be reserved for you. Honestly.
Okay, there is something I need to clear, because if you read the comments, you see the crime where we come from, there are so many things that still need to be done. Maz says, okay, you are my friend and you are probably on my broadcast list, and we discuss.
So guys, you have seen all what is happening. I'm going to take you through some of the headlines on the social media, but I must say that, Kenneth Okonkwo didn't do well at all. Now this headline here says Peter Obi demands 5 billion naira, an apology from former ally Kenneth Okonkwo over alleged defamatory remarks. Guys, Nigerians are saying, where is he going to get it? Anyway, Kenneth Okonkwo has come out to clarify that the man actually forwarded to him a statement, but he did not even go ahead to verify it, and he publicly said Peter Obi is running criminality. Do you know what that means? That's a big term. Peter Obi running criminality. This one says Tinubu government allegedly planned to secretly borrow $5 billion. The secret deal was exposed, prompting a strong warning from IMF, and such borrowing would be dangerous for Nigeria and generations yet unborn. The specific reason for this borrowing loan were never made public. $5 billion US dollar. This man is so wicked, honestly. Tinubu is really so wicked, guys. Tinubu is wicked. Can you imagine the IMF that used to tell Nigerians borrow is still not bad for you. Now he's telling Tinubu that if you borrow this one, then Nigeria is gone. You can imagine that means Nigeria has been stretched to its breaking point. You know what I mean? At this point, Tinubu is not supposed to borrow anything, and IMF is not the one. The IMF that used to allow Tinubu to keep borrowing is now the one telling Tinubu don't borrow because it's going to hurt the country. Now, this other headline here says, what has been your impact in technology and innovation beyond signing MOUs and photo ops? Alex Onya calls out Bosun Tijani over rising data costs and insecurity. Guys, this man has done nothing for Nigerians, guys. Sometimes you just keep on. Maybe they say youth, give chance to the younger one. What is this Minister for Technology, Communication and Technology? What has this man done? I mean, one impact he has brought, guys. Sometimes you don't even know if these old people should just keep ruling, because each time you bring in these young men, they just come in, they are carried away. Just tell me what this man has done. No innovation, nothing, has not even brought one idea to the table. I mean, tell us what you have done. Nigerians are being kidnapped. They tell us Starlinks, Nigerian troops intercepted 400 Starlink devices. Does it mean this man doesn't know that terrorists are using Starlinks to commit their crimes? And is it so difficult for them to like speak with Elon Musk's company and tell them what Nigerians are going through and how they are maximizing? Actually, Elon Musk created that thing to help humanity, but now they are using it to hurt humanity. The best thing is for you to notify Elon Musk and tell him that see what Starlink's devices is being used in Nigeria to do. Elon Musk will know what to do. But this one, he's so silent as if nothing is happening. Now, this headline says it's risky. IMF wants Tinubu government against borrowing secretly borrowing from a bank. Guys, Tinubu wanted to do the borrowing secretly, but guess what? They are telling him don't borrow. When the IMF start yelling red flag, it becomes scary. You do not structurally borrow your way out of a severe currency and inflation crisis. This is massive warning that our debt baseline is hitting a breaking point. Let him cuckoo finish the country. We need to visit Abu Dhabi. Guys, these people, Abu Dhabi is not the one. Nigerians were even calling him out. You know, it's because he's borrowing the money from you guys. Remember what you told Nigerians last time, you know? Tinubu, they will tell you that they can still borrow. IMF, imagine IMF warning you about loans. Tinubu is in total disaster. Who hasn't done anything tangible with saving from subsidy removal? IMF is also part of the problem. If he turns around now and requests loan from you people, you will give him. IMF is not looking out for Nigeria. They are just not happy because of the loan interest will not enter their own pocket, guys. I don't even know what's happening. Someone said if care is not taken, Tinubu will borrow money from Pampe. Oh my God, Nigerians are finishing Tinubu. And this one is by the time the master strategy is done with Nigeria, the World Bank, IMF, and other world financial institutions will be arresting the individual Nigerians on the street of Europe and America to pay their part of the debt, because every Nigerian must have owed up to 500k, guys. you are owing up to 500k in national debt. Can you imagine? I agree with IMF on this one. Nigeria proposed $500 billion total return swap with First Abu Dhabi Bank is too opaque and risky. 133% naira bond collateral and potential margin calls in volatile economy. That's a recipe for disaster. We need transparent financing and more complex deals that could blow up our debt situation. We don't need, okay? I think we need transparent financing, not a complex deal that could blow up our debt situation. Prioritize accountability over quick fixes, guys. That's what this guy is saying. Why should the IMF care so much about our loans from where we get our loans from, as in they own Nigeria, as if they own Nigeria? The IMF is not a friend. They are not a parent. They are not a guardian. They are a lender, and lenders do not like competition. If Nigeria borrows from China, Russia, private bank, the IMF loses control. No condition, no austerity, no structural adjustment. This is the recent concern. Not Nigeria's debt, their influence. The IMF wants you independent on them, on their terms, on their timetable. So when they warn about borrowing from others, read between the line. Translation: borrow from us, not from them. Nigeria is not a child. The IMF is not a parent. So I don't know. Some people are saying the IMF actually don't want, them to borrow from another place. And this headline says Nigeria will be lending to nations by 2026. We're meeting. Nigeria will be lending to nations in 2026, only for Nigeria to be borrowing to the point that IMF is saying stop the borrowing, guys. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.